3 months passed since the aliens first came to Earth. The world had changed. Countries that had fought for centuries now worked together. They had to. The galactic hegemony had made it clear: unite or be destroyed. June sat in a meeting room with leaders from around the world. On screens he could see the alien base that had been built on the moon. The hegemony had claimed Earth's moon as their own. They called it an observation post. "They're not just watching us," said the American general. "They're taking our resources. Their ships have been mining the ocean floor." "They've done the same in the Arctic," said another leader. "When we asked about it, they said they were taking their fair share as our new partners." June looked down at his tablet. Reports came in every day of alien ships landing in remote areas, taking what they wanted and leaving. The hegemony did not ask permission. They did not explain. They just took. "What about the weapon tests?" asked the Chinese leader. "Have we made progress?" All eyes turned to June. In the month since the aliens arrived, he had been put in charge of a secret project. The world's leaders had given him one job: find a way to fight back. "Engineer Hana will give the report," June said. Hana stood up. She looked tired. For months she had worked day and night in the underground lab. "We have made progress," she said. "As we suspected, the alien shields are designed to stop energy weapons, not physical projectiles. In our tests, bullets can pass through their shield technology." A murmur went around the room. It was the first good news in months. "Show them," June said. Hana played a video on the big screen. It showed a test chamber. On one side was a shield generator that they had built based on the alien design. On the other side was the old M2 Browning heavy machine gun. "This shield is only 1/10 as strong as the aliens' shields," Hana said, "but it works on the same principle." In the video, the shield activated. It looked like a wall of shimmering light. Then the machine gun fired. The bullets went right through the shield and hit the target behind it. "As you can see, the physical bullets pass through the energy shield," Hana said. "The aliens have optimized their defenses against energy weapons but left themselves vulnerable to kinetic attacks. Can we be sure their actual shields have the same weakness?" Someone asked. "No," Hana admitted, "but based on everything we've learned from their technical data and from our conversations with their engineers, it's highly likely. They haven't used physical weapons in combat for thousands of years. They've forgotten about them." The room was quiet as everyone took in this information. "Even if this works," said the Russian leader, "they have ships in orbit. They have bases on the moon. They have technology we can't match. How can we fight them?" June stood up. "We don't need to defeat their entire empire. We just need to make it too costly for them to take our planet. If we can show them that conquering Earth will cost them too much, they might leave us alone. Or they might just destroy us from orbit," someone said. "They won't," Hana replied. "Earth has resources they want. Minerals, water, biological diversity. They don't want to destroy the planet. They want to control it." The meeting went on for hours. Plans were made, resources allocated. The old weapons that had been placed in museums were brought out and refurbished. Factories that had once made cars now made ammunition. The world prepared for war, all while pretending to prepare for joining the hegemony. After the meeting, June found Hana in the corridor. "You didn't tell them everything," he said. Hana looked around to make sure they were alone. "No, I didn't tell them about the special ammunition we're developing." "Why not?" "Because I'm not sure it will work. And we can't give them false hope," June nodded. Hope was a dangerous thing these days. Too much of it could lead to rash actions. Too little would lead to surrender. "Show me," he said. They went to the underground lab. It had grown larger over the months. Now it filled a massive bunker beneath Seoul. Scientists and engineers worked at stations around the room. Hana led June to a sealed chamber at the back of the lab. Inside, behind thick glass, was a workbench with strange-looking bullets lined up in rows. "Standard bullets will pass through their shields," Hana said. "But they may not do enough damage. The aliens' bodies are different from ours. Their vital organs are in different places, and they wear armor under their shields." "So what are these?" June asked, pointing to the bullets. "Special rounds. Some expand on impact, some fragment. Some are designed to penetrate armor. We've been testing them on synthetic alien tissue based on the data we've collected." June picked up one of the bullets. It was heavier than a normal round, and the tip had an odd shape. "Will they work in the old weapons?" he asked. "Yes. We've designed them to be compatible with the M2 Browning and other heavy machine guns. They might jam more often, but they'll fire." June put the bullet down.
How many can we make?
Not enough. We need more time. Time was the one thing they didn't have. In 3 more months, the main hegemony fleet would return. Earth would be expected to surrender its independence and become part of the alien empire. The next day, June was summoned to meet with Vexlar. The High Executor had remained on Earth while the main fleet was away. He had taken over a skyscraper in Seoul and turned it into his headquarters. June was searched before being allowed to enter. The aliens took his sidearm, which made him smile inside. They were worried about his primitive weapon. Vexlar sat behind a large desk made of a strange glowing material. He did not stand when June entered. "Commander, I have been reviewing your planet's progress," Vexlar said. "I am not impressed." June kept his face neutral. "We are doing our best to prepare for joining the hegemony. Your best is not good enough. Your nations still maintain separate militaries. Your economies are still independent. This is not the unity we expect. 200 nations cannot become one overnight," June said. "We need more time." Vexlar's black eyes narrowed. "Time is a luxury you do not have. The fleet returns in 3 months. If Earth is not ready, there will be consequences." "What kind of consequences?" Vexlar touched a control on his desk. A hologram appeared in the air between them. It showed Earth rotating slowly. Then a beam of light struck the planet. Where it hit, the land burned. "This is not a threat, Commander. It is a promise. The hegemony does not tolerate defiance." June felt cold inside, but he kept his voice steady. "We understand. We will be ready. See that you are. You may go now." Outside the building, June let out a long breath. The aliens were getting impatient. They sensed that something was wrong, that Earth was not just struggling to unite but actively preparing to resist. He called Hana. "We need to speed up production. They're getting suspicious." "We're working as fast as we can," Hana said. "But there's something else you should know. We've been monitoring their communications. They're bringing in more ships than they originally said. This isn't just a diplomatic mission anymore. It's an invasion force." June wasn't surprised. The hegemony had never planned to give Earth a choice. They had always intended to take the planet by force if necessary. "How long until we can arm enough troops?" he asked. 2 weeks for basic ammunition. A month for the special rounds. But June, even then, we might not have enough. We'll have to make do with what we have. The alternative is slavery." That night, June couldn't sleep. He stood at the window of his apartment, looking at the alien ships that hung in the sky like new stars. They were beautiful and terrifying. His phone rang. It was Hana. "Come to the lab," she said. "Now, there's something you need to see." When June arrived, Hana was waiting with a small team of engineers. They looked excited. "What is it?" he asked. Hana led him to a testing range they had set up. At one end was a dummy wearing what looked like an alien suit. "We've been trying to get our hands on actual alien technology for months," Hana said. "Today we finally succeeded." "How?" "One of their technicians got drunk in a bar. Our agent got him talking about their shore leave schedules. When he passed out, we borrowed his gear for a few hours. We've already returned it. He'll never know it was gone." June looked at the suit. "Is that what I think it is?" "Yes. An actual hegemony combat suit with a real shield generator. Not our copy. The real thing." June's heart raced, and Hana pointed to the M2 Browning set up at the other end of the range. "We're about to test it. If bullets go through their actual shields, then our plan will work." The team took positions. The shield on the dummy activated. It glowed with a blue light surrounding the suit and a bubble of energy. "Fire," Hana said. The heavy machine gun roared to life. The sound was deafening in the underground room. Bullets flew across the range and hit the shield. For a terrible moment, June thought they were being stopped. The shield flared brightly where the bullets hit. But then he saw holes appearing in the dummy behind the shield. The bullets were passing through. Hana shut off the gun. The room fell silent except for the ringing in their ears. "It worked," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "It actually worked." June walked to the dummy. It was riddled with holes. The alien suit was torn apart where the bullets had hit. "Now we know for sure," he said. "Their shields won't stop our old weapons." Hana joined him. "Yes, but they'll learn quickly once we start shooting at them. We'll only have the element of surprise once." June nodded. "Then we'll need to make it count." The underground base was filled with people. Soldiers from many countries trained together. Scientists worked on weapons. Engineers built equipment. 5 months had passed since the aliens first came to Earth. There was only 1 month left before the main fleet returned. June walked through the base with Colonel Tay, a tough soldier who had fought in many battles before the aliens came. "How many troops do we have now?" June asked. "About 10,000 here in Korea," Tay said. "Similar numbers in other major bases around the world. Everyone is trained on the old weapons. And how many of the special weapons do we have?" 500 M2 Brownings restored and ready. Thousands of other heavy machine guns. Millions of rounds of regular ammunition. The special rounds are still limited, but production is increasing. They entered a large training room. Soldiers were practicing with the old weapons. The sound of gunfire echoed off the walls. "They're good," June said, watching the soldiers. "But are they good enough?" Tay didn't answer right away. He watched a young woman firing an M2 Browning at a target. She hit it every time. "They will have to be," he said finally. "We don't have any other choice." June's phone buzzed. It was a message from Hana. "Come to Lab 3, urgent." He excused himself and hurried to the lab. Hana was there with her team. They were gathered around a table covered with equipment. "What is it?" June asked. Hana held up a small device. It looked like a metal disc with lights around the edge. "We've been working on this for months," she said. "It's finally ready." "What is it?" "We call it a shield disruptor. It creates a field that interferes with the alien shields. It doesn't disable them completely, but it weakens them. Makes them easier to penetrate." June took the device. It was lighter than he expected. "How does it work?" "It emits a specific frequency that resonates with their shield harmonics. It creates a kind of feedback loop that disrupts the energy flow." "And you're sure it works?" Hana nodded. "We tested it on the suit we borrowed. It reduced the shield strength by about 30%. That means our bullets will do more damage." "How many of these can we make?" "That's the problem. They use rare materials. We can only make a few hundred before the fleet returns." June handed the device back.
"Make as many as you can."
"Give them to our best soldiers." Just then an alarm sounded. Red lights flashed in the corridor outside. "What's happening?" Hana asked. June checked his phone. There were multiple alert messages. "Alien patrols are doing sweeps of the city. They're looking for unauthorized gatherings." "Do they know about us?" "I don't think so, not yet, but they're getting suspicious." They hurried to the command center. Screens showed alien ships flying over Seoul. Soldiers in shining armor walked the streets, scanning buildings with strange devices. "They're using energy scanners," said one of the technicians, "looking for power signatures that don't match normal human technology." "Will they find us?" June asked. "The base is shielded. They shouldn't be able to detect us as long as we don't use any alien-derived technology." June turned to Hana. "The shield disruptors. Are any of them active?" Hana's eyes widened. "Yes, we have 3 running in Lab 3 for tests." "Shut them down now." Hana ran from the room. June watched the screens, his heart racing. If the aliens found the base, everything would be lost. Minutes later, Hana returned. "They're off. All alien tech is powered down." They waited in tense silence. On the screens, they could see the alien patrols moving through the city. One ship hovered directly over the base. "They're scanning this area heavily," said the technician. "They suspect something," June said, "but they don't know what or where." After what seemed like hours, the alien ships moved on. The patrols left the area. The base remained undiscovered. "That was too close," Hana said. June nodded. "They know we're up to something. We need to accelerate our plans." "But we're not ready," Hana protested. "We need more weapons, more ammunition. We've run out of time. If we wait until the fleet arrives, it will be too late." June called a meeting of all the resistance leaders. They gathered in the command center, faces grim. "The aliens are increasing their patrols," June said. "They suspect we're planning resistance. We need to move up our timeline." "How soon?" asked one of the leaders. 3 days. "We hit them in 3 days before they can bring in reinforcements." There were murmurs around the room. Some agreed. Some thought it was too soon. "What about the other bases around the world?" Colonel Tay asked. "Are they ready?" "Some are, some aren't. But we can't wait for everyone to be perfectly prepared. If the aliens find even one of our bases, they'll know what we're planning." After much debate, they agreed. The attack would begin in 3 days. Messages were sent to resistance cells worldwide. Final preparations began. That night, June found Hana in her lab. She was working on one of the shield disruptors. "You should rest," he said. "You'll need your strength." Hana didn't look up from her work. "I'll rest when this is over." "Hana, we might not survive this." She finally stopped working and looked at him. I know, but if we don't try, we definitely won't survive as a free people. June sat down beside her. Do you think we made the right decision? Moving up the attack? No, I think it's too soon. I think we're not ready, she sighed. But I also think we don't have a choice. The aliens are getting too close. If it doesn't work, June began, then humanity becomes slaves to the hegemony. Our children and grandchildren will serve alien masters. They sat in silence for a moment, each lost in their own thoughts. I should tell you something, Hannah said. We've been monitoring the alien communications. They've called in their fleet early. The ships will be here in 4 days. June felt cold. 4 days? Not 1 month? They must have sensed something was wrong. They're not taking any chances. Then we were right to move up our attack. We'll hit them before their reinforcements arrive. Hannah went back to her work. I'll have 50 more disruptors ready by then. It's not many, but it's something. Every little bit helps, June said. Get some rest when you can. The next 2 days were a blur of activity. Weapons were distributed. Plans were finalized. Soldiers were briefed on their missions. The plan was simple but dangerous. Small teams would attack alien patrols around the world, testing their shields against the old weapons. Once they confirmed the weakness, larger forces would hit the main alien bases. The goal was to inflict enough casualties to force the hegemony to reconsider their invasion. On the eve of the attack, June addressed the troops in the underground base. Tomorrow, we fight for Earth, he said. Not for our separate nations, but for our entire planet. The aliens think we are primitive and weak. They mock our old weapons and our old ways. Tomorrow, we show them their mistake. A cheer went up from the soldiers. They were scared, but determined. They knew the odds were against them, but they were ready to fight. After the speech, Sergeant Sung approached June. Sung was one of their best soldiers, a quiet man who rarely spoke but was deadly with a weapon. Sir, I've been assigned to lead the first attack team, Sung said. Yes, your team will hit the alien patrol near the river. It's a small group, good for testing our weapons in actual combat. Sung nodded. We'll get it done, sir. But I wanted to ask about the special ammunition. What about it? We've been given 20 rounds each. Is that all we have? June wished he could give Sung more. It's all we can spare for the initial attacks. If it works as well as we hope, we'll distribute more for the main assault. Sung accepted this without complaint. We'll make them count. Early the next morning, June and Hannah stood in the command center. Screens showed maps of Seoul with alien positions marked in red. Sung's team is in position, Colonel Tae reported. They're waiting for the signal. June took a deep breath. Once they gave the order, there would be no turning back. Earth would be at war with the galactic hegemony. Give the signal, he said. Tae spoke into his radio. Operation Thunderclap is a go. Repeat, Thunderclap is a go. On one of the screens, they could see Sung's team moving into position. They carried the old M2 Browning mounted on a tripod. The gun looked ancient compared to the sleek alien technology, but June knew its power. The alien patrol came into view. 5 soldiers in shining armor, their energy weapons ready. They walked with confidence, unafraid of the primitive humans. Sung's team set up the machine gun on a rooftop. They loaded it with the special ammunition that Hannah had developed. They're ready, Tai said. June watched the screen, his heart pounding. Everything depended on this moment. If the bullets didn't penetrate the alien shields in actual combat, their entire plan would fail. Fire, he said. Tae relayed the order. On the screen, they saw the heavy machine gun light up. The sound wouldn't reach them in the bunker, but June could imagine the roar of the old weapon. The aliens reacted immediately. Their shields activated, surrounding them in bubbles of energy. They raised their weapons, looking for the source of the attack. Then one of them fell. Then another. The bullets tore through their shields as if they weren't there. It's working, Hannah exclaimed. The aliens tried to return fire. Energy beams shot from their weapons, but Sung's team was well hidden. More bullets flew and more aliens fell. In less than a minute, it was over. All 5 aliens were down. Sung's team quickly packed up and moved out, disappearing into the city before reinforcements could arrive. Report coming in, Tae said. The alien headquarters in Seoul was a fortress. They had taken over a skyscraper and surrounded it with energy barriers. Alien ships patrolled the sky above it. Troops in shining armor guarded every entrance. June stood on a rooftop half a mile away, looking through binoculars. Colonel Tae was beside him checking weapons. Around them, 200 soldiers prepared for battle. Each group had at least one heavy machine gun. Are all teams in position? June asked. Tay nodded. Yes, we have the building surrounded. The Americans and Chinese are providing air support with their old fighter jets. The Russians have tanks moving in from the north. And the shield disruptors? Distributed to all teams. They're ready to activate on your command. June looked up at the alien ship circling the headquarters. Inside that building was High Executor Vexlar, the alien who had mocked Earth's weapons. The alien who had threatened to enslave humanity. Give the order, June said. Activate the disruptors, Tay spoke into his radio. Moments later, small devices around the alien headquarters lit up. They were hidden in buildings, sewers, and abandoned cars. The shield disruptors began their work, weakening the alien defenses. Now the jammers, June ordered. Another command was given. Across the city, special transmitters turned on. They flooded the area with electronic noise, disrupting the aliens' communications. All teams begin the attack, Tay said into the radio. The sound of gunfire erupted from all directions. Old machine guns, rifles, and even some tank cannons opened fire on the alien headquarters. The energy barrier surrounding the building flared as it was hit by thousands of bullets. The aliens responded immediately. Energy weapons fired from the building, sending beams of light toward the human positions. But the resistance fighters were well hidden and they kept firing. Look, Tay said, pointing. June raised his binoculars. The energy barrier was flickering. In some places, it was failing completely. Bullets were getting through, hitting the building itself. It's working, June said. The disruptors are weakening their shields. The alien ships began to attack, firing energy weapons at the human positions. Two of them focused on the rooftop where June and Tay were stationed. Take cover, Tay shouted. They dove behind a concrete barrier just as energy beams hit the rooftop. The concrete melted where the beams struck. We need to take out those ships, June said. As if in answer to his words, the sound of jet engines filled the air. Old human fighter jets pulled out of museums and military reserves flew toward the alien ships. They fired missiles that the aliens easily dodged. But while the alien ships were distracted by the jets, soldiers on other rooftops opened fire with heavy machine guns. The bullets tore through the ship's weakened shields. One ship began to smoke, then fell from the sky, crashing into the street below. Keep firing, Tay ordered. More alien ships appeared, drawn by the battle. But more human jets arrived as well. The sky over Seoul became a battlefield. On the ground, the assault on the alien headquarters continued. The energy barrier was failing in more places. Human soldiers moved closer, firing continuously at the weakening defenses. June's radio crackled. It was Hana. The barrier is at 40% strength and falling, she reported. Keep up the pressure. How long until it fails completely? June asked. Minutes maybe. But June, we're picking up communications from orbit. The fleet is arriving early. We have hours, not days. June's heart sank. If the alien fleet arrived before they could secure Earth, all would be lost. We need to end this now, he said to Tay. Order all teams to focus fire on the main entrance. We're going in. Tay gave the order. The gunfire intensified, all directed at the front of the alien headquarters. The energy barrier there flickered, failed, and disappeared. Move, June shouted. He and Tay led a group of soldiers across the street toward the building. Alien troops rushed out to meet them, firing energy weapons. Some humans fell, but the rest kept going, firing their old weapons as they ran. The aliens seemed shocked when their shields failed to stop the bullets. They had relied on their advanced technology for so long that they had forgotten the basics of combat. They had no cover, no defensive positions. June fired his rifle at an alien soldier. The bullet went through the alien's shield and hit it in the chest. The alien fell, its black eyes wide with surprise. The humans reached the entrance of the headquarters. June set up his radio. Hana, we're at the entrance. Can you guide us to Vexlar? Top floor. But be careful. Internal scans show heavy defenses. June looked at his team. They were tired and some were wounded, but all were determined. We're going to the top floor to find Vexlar, he told them. This ends today. They entered the building. Inside, it had been transformed. Alien technology covered the walls and ceiling. Strange lights glowed in patterns that hurt the eyes. Alien soldiers waited for them, firing energy weapons from behind barriers. The humans took cover and returned fire. The sound of gunfire echoed in the alien halls. There's too many of them, Tay said as energy beams hit the wall next to him. June looked around. They needed a way to clear the path. Then he saw it. An M2 Browning that one of the soldiers had carried into the building. "Set up the heavy machine gun," he ordered. 2 soldiers quickly set up the gun on its tripod. They loaded it with Hana's special ammunition. Fire. The gun roared to life. Its heavy bullets tore through the alien defenses, through their shields, through their armor. The aliens fell back, unable to stand against the ancient but deadly weapon. "Move up," June ordered. They advanced through the building, floor by floor. The aliens fought hard, but they had no answer to the human weapons. Their shields, designed to stop energy attacks, were useless against bullets. Their tactics, developed for fighting with energy weapons, didn't work against the humans' more direct approach. Finally, they reached the top floor. The door to Vexillar's chamber was sealed, a barrier of energy covering it. "Can we get through?" June asked. One of the engineers examined the barrier. "The shield disruptor should weaken it, but we'll need something with a lot of power to break through." June looked at the M2 Browning. "Will that work?" The engineer nodded. "If we use all our remaining special ammunition, maybe." They set up the gun facing the door. The engineer activated a shield disruptor right next to the barrier. The energy field flickered. "Fire," June ordered. The heavy machine gun fired, all its remaining special rounds directed at the weakened barrier. The energy field flared brightly, then failed. The door behind it was riddled with holes. "Breach!" Tay shouted. Soldiers rushed forward, kicking down what remained of the door. Inside was a large chamber filled with alien technology. At the center was Vexillar, surrounded by his guards. "Kill them!" Vexillar shouted. The alien guards fired their energy weapons. Some humans fell, but others returned fire. The room became a chaos of gunfire and energy beams. June aimed at Vexillar, but an energy beam hit near him, forcing him to take cover. From behind a console, he saw Tay leading a group of soldiers in a flanking maneuver. The aliens, focused on June, didn't see Tay's group until it was too late. Human bullets tore through the aliens' shields. The guards fell one by one until only Vexillar remained. The High Executor backed away, his energy weapon pointed at June. "Stay back, primitive." June stepped forward, his rifle aimed at Vexillar's chest. "It's over. Your forces in the city are defeated. Your shields can't stop our weapons." "Impossible," Vexillar hissed. "Your primitive bullets cannot defeat our advanced technology." "And yet here we are," June said. "Drop your weapon." Vexillar's black eyes narrowed. "The fleet is coming. Thousands of ships. They will burn your cities to ash. Not if they know their High Executor is our prisoner. Not if they know their shields are useless against our weapons." For a long moment, Vexillar stood there, his weapon still raised. Then slowly he lowered it. "You have won this battle, human, but the war is just beginning." June kept his rifle aimed at the alien. "Secure him," he ordered. Soldiers moved forward to take Vexillar's weapons and bind his hands. "Colonel, get me a direct line to Hana," June said. Tay handed him a radio. "Hana, we have Vexillar. What's the status of the fleet?" "They're entering orbit now," Hana replied, her voice tense. "Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. They'll be in position to attack within the hour." June looked at Vexillar. "Tell your fleet to stand down. Tell them if they attack, you die." Vexillar made the alien laughing sound. "You think they care if I live or die? I am one executor among many. But you know things. Things about the hegemony's defenses. Things your leaders wouldn't want us to know." The alien's laughter stopped. June had guessed right. Vexillar knew secrets that the hegemony would not want in human hands. "Take me to a communication terminal," Vexillar said. "I will speak to the fleet commander." They brought the alien to a communication device in the corner of the room. It looked like a silver sphere on a pedestal. Vexillar placed his hand on it and the sphere lit up. An alien face appeared in the air above the sphere. It looked similar to Vexillar but older, with markings on its blue skin. "High Executor, we were concerned when communications were lost," the alien said. "The fleet is in position. We await your orders to begin the pacification of this world." "Fleet Commander," Vexillar said, "the situation has changed. The humans have unexpected capabilities. Their primitive weapons can penetrate our shields." The commander's black eyes widened. 5 years had passed since the day the aliens left Earth. The world had changed in ways no one could have imagined before the invasion. Nations that had been enemies for centuries now worked together. The old weapons that had saved humanity were displayed in museums alongside alien technology, captured during the war. June stood in the new Galactic Defense Headquarters in Seoul. Through the large windows, he could see ships taking off and landing at the spaceport. Some were human designs. Others were built using technology reverse-engineered from alien craft left behind. Hana entered the room, carrying a tablet. She had changed over the years. Her hair was shorter now, and she carried herself with the confidence of someone who had helped save the world. "The council is ready for you," she said. June nodded. "Any news from the deep space monitors?" "Nothing unusual. The hegemony fleet is still keeping its distance just as they promised." They walked together through the headquarters. People nodded respectfully as they passed. June and Hana were heroes, their names known around the world. The council chamber was a large room with a round table. Leaders from every major nation sat around it. Some were in the room physically. Others appeared as holograms, another technology adapted from the aliens. "Commander June, Engineer Hana," said the council president. "Thank you for joining us today. We have much to discuss." June and Hana took their seats. The meeting began with reports from around the world. Earth's defenses were growing stronger every day. Ships patrolled the solar system. Bases had been established on the Moon and Mars. "Now the main item on our agenda," said the president. "The Epsilon probe has returned from its mission to the edge of hegemony space." A hologram appeared above the table, showing a small ship. The Epsilon probe had been Earth's first attempt at long-range reconnaissance. It had been sent to gather information about the alien empire that had tried to conquer Earth. "What did it find?" June asked. The president nodded to a scientist sitting at the table. The woman stood up. "The probe successfully mapped the outer regions of hegemony space," she said. "It also intercepted communications between hegemony worlds. Based on this data, we've learned several important things." The hologram changed to show a map of stars. Certain areas were highlighted in different colors. "First, the hegemony is not as united as they claimed. There are at least 3 factions competing for power. Second, they are at war with another empire on their far border. And third, most importantly, they are afraid of us." This last statement caused murmurs around the table. "Afraid of us?" June asked. "Why? They have thousands of ships, hundreds of worlds. We have a few dozen ships and 3 planets." The scientist smiled. "Because word has spread about how we defeated them. The story of how Earth's primitive weapons penetrated their shields has traveled throughout their empire. Many subjected species have heard the tale. Some are beginning to resist." June sat back, surprised. He had never considered that Earth's victory might inspire others. "There's more," the scientist continued. "The probe also detected signals from worlds beyond hegemony space. Other civilizations that might be allies against the hegemony. One in particular seems especially promising." The hologram changed again, showing a solar system with a blue-green planet, the Nari Confederation. "Their technology is similar to what we've developed by combining our own science with what we learned from the hegemony. And according to the communications we intercepted, they're looking for allies." The council president looked at June. "We're planning a diplomatic mission to the Nari Confederation. We want you to lead it, Commander June." June was stunned. "Me? I'm a soldier, not a diplomat. You're the man who faced down High Executor Vexlar. Your name is known throughout this part of the galaxy. The Nari will listen to you." June looked at Hana. She nodded encouragingly. "When would I leave?" he asked. "In 1 month. Our new ship, the Earthstar, will be ready by then. It's the fastest vessel we've built, equipped with both human and adapted alien technology." After the meeting, June and Hana walked through the memorial garden outside the headquarters. Statues honored those who had fallen during the invasion. At the center was a large display case. Inside was an M2 Browning heavy machine gun, the same one that had been in the museum when the aliens first arrived. "Will you go?" Hana asked. June stopped in front of the display case looking at the old weapon. "I think I have to. If there are others out there who want to resist the hegemony, they should know they're not alone." "Then I'm coming with you. You'll need an engineer who understands both human and alien technology." June smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that." They continued walking. Above them, ships flew across the sky. 5 years ago, they had been alien vessels bringing threats of conquest. Now they were human ships protecting Earth and reaching out to the stars. "Do you ever wonder what happened to Vexlar?" Hana asked. June nodded. "Sometimes. I imagine he didn't receive a warm welcome when he returned to the hegemony." "Probably not. He was defeated by primitives with ancient weapons." They shared a smile at the memory. A month later, June stood on the bridge of the Earth Star. The ship was a marvel, combining the best of human ingenuity with what they had learned from alien technology. It was not as advanced as the hegemony ships, but it was fast, well-armed, and, most importantly, built by human hands. Hana stood beside him at the main control panel. Around them, the crew prepared for departure. They were the best Earth had to offer, selected from all nations. "All systems are ready," Hana reported. "The new hybrid engines are operating at full capacity." June nodded. "Begin launch sequence." The ship hummed with power. On screens around the bridge, June could see the spaceport falling away as they rose into the sky. Soon, Earth became a blue sphere below them, then a small dot as they accelerated away. "Set course for the Nari Confederation," June ordered. As the ship moved faster than any human vessel had ever traveled, June thought about the journey ahead. They would be the first humans to make official contact with a civilization beyond the hegemony. They would be ambassadors for Earth, seeking allies in a galaxy that was larger and more complex than anyone had imagined before the invasion. The journey would take 3 months each way. During that time, June and Hana would teach the Nari about Earth's history, its cultures, its technology. And they would learn about the Nari in return. But there was one story June was especially eager to share. The story of how humanity had faced an advanced alien empire and won. How the aliens had mocked Earth's old weapons, only to be defeated by them. How an ancient machine gun, a relic from humanity's past, had been the key to its future. 3 months later, the Earth star entered the Nari solar system. On the bridge, June and Hana watched as the blue-green planet grew larger on the screens. "We're being hailed," said the communications officer. "Put it on the main screen," June ordered. The screen lit up, showing a being that looked somewhat like a human but with purple skin and silver eyes. "Vessel from Earth. This is Ambassador Leary of the Nari Confederation. Welcome to our world," June stepped forward. "Thank you, Ambassador. I am Commander June of Earth. We come in peace and friendship. We have heard much about your people, Commander. The species that defied the hegemony and won. Many thought it was just a story. But now you are here proving it was true." "It is true, Ambassador, and we have much to share with you." The Nari ship escorted the Earth star to a space station orbiting their planet. June, Hana, and a small team took a shuttle to meet with the Nari leaders. The meeting chamber on the station was grand, with windows looking out at the planet below. The Nari Council, 12 beings with the same purple skin and silver eyes, welcomed the humans warmly. "Please, Commander June," said the head counselor, "tell us how your world defeated the hegemony. Their empire has threatened our borders for centuries. We have managed to keep them at bay, but we have never defeated them in battle as you did." June looked at Hana, then back at the Nari. "Our victory came from an unexpected source. The hegemony thought they were invincible because of their advanced technology, especially their energy shields. They had forgotten about older, simpler weapons. He activated a hologram projector they had brought. It showed an image of the M2 Browning heavy machine gun. This weapon, designed almost 250 years before the invasion, was the key to our victory. The aliens laughed when they saw it in our museums. They called it primitive and obsolete. But when we used it against them, we discovered something important. The hologram changed to show the gun firing at an alien shield. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons, couldn't stop solid bullets. They had optimized their defenses against the threats they expected and forgotten about older methods of warfare. Their arrogance was their downfall. The Nari Council members looked at each other, their silver eyes wide with surprise. "Such a simple solution," said the head counselor. "We have been developing more and more advanced energy weapons to try to penetrate their shields. We never considered using projectile weapons. That's what the hegemony counts on," Hana said. "They expect everyone to follow the same technological path they did. When someone doesn't, they don't know how to respond." The meeting went on for hours. The humans shared everything they had learned about hegemony technology, especially their shields. The sky turned bright that day. It was not the sun. A giant ship, bigger than any building on Earth, hung over Seoul. Commander June stood on the roof of the Korean Space Defense Force base. He watched with wide eyes as the alien ship blocked the sun. "Sir, we are getting a message," said the radio officer next to him. June nodded. His mouth felt dry. For years, humans had looked at the stars and wondered if they were alone. Today they had their answer. Put it on the main screen, June said. The large screen on the wall lit up. A face appeared. It was not human. The alien had pale blue skin, large black eyes, and no visible nose. When it spoke, its mouth moved in a strange way. People of Earth, I am High Executor Vexlar of the Galactic Hegemony. We have been watching your planet for some time. We have decided it is time to welcome you to the galactic community. June stepped forward. I am Commander June of the Korean Space Defense Force. On behalf of Earth, we welcome you. Vexlar made a sound that might have been a laugh. How quaint. Your planet still has separate nations. Most species unite before we find them. June felt his face grow hot, but he kept his voice calm. We would be honored if you would meet with our world leaders. Yes, we will meet. Prepare your landing area. We will come down in 1 hour. The screen went dark. June turned to his team. Call the president. Call everyone. We have 1 hour to prepare for the first alien visit in human history. The next hour was the busiest of June's life. Leaders from around the world joined video calls. Reporters crowded outside the base. Soldiers set up barriers to keep people back. When the small alien ship landed on the base, the world watched. June stood at the front of the greeting party. 5 aliens walked out of the ship. They wore shining suits that seemed to glow from within. High Executor Vexlar, welcome to Earth, June said with a bow. Vexlar looked at him with those big black eyes. Your hospitality is noted, Commander. Now take us to your leaders. The meeting room was large, with screens showing leaders from other countries. Vexlar and his team sat on one side of the table. June and the Korean president sat on the other side. Your planet is quite primitive, Vexlar said. We have been traveling the stars for 10,000 years. We have united over 300 species into our hegemony. We are honored that you have chosen to visit us, the president said. Vexlar made that laughing sound again. We did not come just to visit. We came to offer you a place in our hegemony. Your species has potential despite your primitive technology. June tried not to show his anger. Our technology has advanced greatly in recent years. Vexlar pointed to the gun on June's hip. You still use projectile weapons. We stopped using those 9,000 years ago. We now use energy weapons like this. Vexlar held up a small device. It glowed with blue light. This can destroy a building with one shot. It draws power from the energy around it and never needs reloading. The president leaned forward. Perhaps you could share some of your technology with us. In time, Vexlar said. First, you must join the hegemony. Your species will serve as workers and soldiers. In a few hundred years, if you prove yourselves, you may earn more rights. June could not stay quiet. You want us to be your servants? Vexlar turned those black eyes on him. It is an honor to serve the hegemony. Many species would fight for the chance. The meeting went on for hours. The aliens showed videos of their empire in space. They had giant ships, space cities, and weapons that could destroy planets. Earth had nothing that could match them. After the meeting, June was asked to show the aliens around the base. He took them to the military museum where old weapons and vehicles were on display. This is from our history, June said, pointing to a tank from the last century. Vexlar and the other aliens made their laughing sound. You use these to fight each other? How primitive. They walked through the museum, the aliens laughing at everything they saw. Then they stopped at a glass case. Inside was an old heavy machine gun. What is this ancient device? Vexlar asked. That is an M2 Browning heavy machine gun, June said. It was designed almost 250 years ago, but we still used them until recently. The aliens laughed harder than ever. You use the same weapon for 250 years? We change our weapons every decade as our technology improves. June felt his pride hurt. It was very effective. It fired 450-500 rounds per minute and was reliable in all conditions. Rounds? You mean solid bullets? Vexlar asked. How barbaric. We have not used physical ammunition in millennia. Your weapons are toys compared to ours. June wanted to argue, but he knew it was true. The alien weapons were far beyond anything on Earth. He stayed silent as they continued the tour. That night, June met with Hana, the head engineer at the base. She had watched the aliens visit on the screens. They think we are nothing, June said. They want us to be their servants. Hana nodded, her eyes thoughtful. Did you see their suits? And their weapons? The technology is amazing. Yes. We have no chance against them if they decide to force us to join them. Hana was quiet for a moment. Maybe, but they seem very sure of themselves. Too sure, when what do you mean? June asked. They laughed at our weapons. They think they are too advanced to worry about something as simple as bullets, Hana said. But sometimes simple things still work. June looked at her. What are you thinking? I need to run some tests. Can you get me access to any information the aliens have shared about their technology, especially their shields and armor? I can try. But what good will it do? Hana smiled. I'm not sure yet. But my father used to say, don't mock what you don't understand. Maybe the aliens should learn that lesson. The next day, Vexlar called for June. The alien was in his ship, sitting on what looked like a throne. Commander, I have news. The Galactic Council has decided. Earth will be given 6 months to prepare to join the hegemony. 6 months? June asked. That's not much time. It is generous, Vexlar said. Most species are given only days. But your planet is divided and you will need time to create a single government. And if we refuse to join? Vexlar's black eyes seemed to grow darker. That would be unwise. The hegemony does not allow advanced species to remain outside our control. If you refuse, we will be forced to show you our power. June knew what that meant. War. A war Earth could not win. I understand, he said. Good. We will leave a small team here to help you prepare. The rest of us will return in 6 months. Be ready. After Vexlar left, June went straight to Hana's lab. She was surrounded by computers and equipment. They're giving us 6 months, June said. Hana looked up from her work. Then we have 6 months to find a way to fight back. Fight back? Did you not see their technology? Their weapons? Their ships? We would be destroyed. Hana pointed to her screen. Look at this. I've been studying the data you gave me about their suits. They use energy shields to protect themselves. Yes, shields that stop anything we could throw at them. Not quite, Hana said. Their shields are designed to stop energy attacks. They work by dispersing energy across the shield surface. But physical objects, especially fast-moving ones, might be different. June stared at her. You think our old weapons might work against them? I don't know yet. But I'm going to find out. And I need your help. Over the next few days, Hana set up a secret lab deep under the base. June brought her old weapons from the museum, including the M2 Browning that the aliens had laughed at. We need to test their shield technology, Hana said. Can you get one of their shield devices? June shook his head. They guard their technology closely. But one of their team, a technician named Zol, seems friendly. I might be able to get information from him. June spent days building a relationship with Zol. The alien was young and excited to learn about Earth. June showed him around Sol, taught him about human culture, and slowly gained his trust. One evening, after sharing drinks, Zol had found he loved human beer. The alien began talking about his work. Your species is so far behind, Zol said. Your weapons are simple sticks compared to ours. Tell me about your shields, June said. How do they work? Zol, relaxed from the beer, began explaining. The shields create an energy field that disperses any energy weapon fire. Nothing can get through. What about physical objects? Like bullets? Zol laughed. We haven't faced physical weapons in combat for thousands of years. Our shields were designed to stop energy weapons because that's all anyone uses now. June tried to keep his face neutral. So your shields might not stop bullets? In theory, a physical object might pass through if it were moving fast enough. But it doesn't matter. No advanced species would use such primitive weapons. June smiled and changed the subject, but his mind was racing. He needed to tell Hana what he had learned. The next day, he found her in the underground lab. She was working on the old M2 Browning. Hana, I have news. Their shields might not stop bullets. Hana looked up, her eyes bright. I thought so. Their technology is advanced, but it's specialized. They've forgotten about the old ways of fighting. Can you make these old weapons work against them? Hana patted the heavy machine gun. This old girl doesn't need much improvement. It was designed to kill, and it does that job very well. We just need to test it against their shields. How? We don't have one of their shields to test. Hana smiled. No, but I've been studying the data. I think I can build something similar.